It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for June 2023. So June 11th, we have our second astro event taking place. Of course, the first one is Pluto retrograding into Capricorn. So if you haven't listened to that astro forecast, definitely go ahead, take a listen. The second one is Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves, wrapping up his very long stint of time in Taurus energy due to his retrograde and finally taking his throne, his power, in Gemini energy. So of course, we're already in Gemini season. He rules over this Gemini energy. So now he's getting double crowned, if you will. And with this particular aspect, this is when the universe is going to hit that fast forward button. This is when we are going to enter into this accelerated timeline of making things happen and really kind of making up for lost time. So let's just talk about the fact that when Mercury is in his place of power in Gemini energy, the mental plane is highlighted. We have some very, very high processing to do as far as new perspectives, new information, new choice points go. It is a very high peak time for communication. We have a lot to say. We have a lot of questions we need to ask. Curiosity is at its all-time high. We are chatty Cathys. We want to be out in the world. We want to bounce ideas off of other people. We want to engage in conversation that is mentally stimulating. And from that, sometimes we receive aha moments on where it is that we want to go from here. We are going to be mentally exhausted in this particular transit. And that's why if you listen to the June energy forecast, the intro there, you would know that we're not in this Gemini energy for very long. We will transition into Cancer energy towards the end of the month. And there's good reason for that, because if we had Mercury stay in its place of power in Gemini for any longer than what it is that we are going to do, our brains would literally explode. Now, compounded with the fact that Pluto, again, is going retrograde, taking us back, and Mercury in alignment right now with highly processing events of the past and seeing them from different perspectives and having aha moments on what it is that we couldn't do months ago that we can do now because of the information and the details that we currently have. This is going to be a rapidly processing, accelerated time of circumstances, of events, of information. We really like to have different perspectives. We like to kind of dip our toe in different areas, topics, and themes that pique our interest. And we don't really want to stick to one thing. We would rather have our toes in different pools, if you will. Spice and variety are the ways that we kind of keep the excitement alive. But we have to be kind of careful that we're not in information overload, which obviously at some point we will all be in. We have to avoid gossip and misinformation. So out there on the collective stage, be very, very alert and use your discernment with new information coming to pass, because again, there's a lot of distractions out there as of right now. And we just have to kind of be very careful of how it is that we're expressing ourselves. Again, with all the Gemini energy, we're not as heart aligned. Lucky for us, we have Mars and Venus pushing to be heart aligned, but our mental plane is doing something different. And the whole vibe here is to get the heart and the head in agreement, because our physical bodies are going to need to be engaged here very shortly. We are going to push forward. We are going to get the green light go ahead. And of course, our heart and our head have to be in alignment first before we can say to our physical body, yep, we're going to take action. We're going to move forward. So we really do have to kind of, I'm going to say, be very consciously aware of our mental plane and our mental dexterity and where it is that our head feels like we have 50 million tabs open, and where we kind of have to minimize some of that so that our head literally doesn't feel dizzy and spaced out and congested and just cluster effed if we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it. Of course, is going to be a lot of, I'm going to say, nervous energy that gets triggered with this aspect, because it is air energy and it's a powerful air energy. And being in an air season, this is definitely bringing electrical impulses in our central nervous system to an all-time high. And so we do have to be very consciously aware of how we're allowing this energy to manifest in our mental plane and how it affects our physical body.